are big, but mine are bigger.
And the Americanos.
Oh, God, that's McIntyre.
Signed to WWE when I was 20 years old, and you got rejected your first tryout.
All I'm saying is that I know you got dreams.
I don't understand, Austin. I got a disconnect here.
Oh!
She mastered the Divas era. Well, I murdered the Divas era.
But I have always been proud to be your boy.
The hype level for Roman Reigns CM Punk off the charts. Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi, boy howdy, I am salivating at the prospect of watching that match, but is that enough? And that's what we're going to talk about today. How hyped are we for the Showcase of the Immortals? It's about 4 weeks away, so we're going to go over the storylines today, see if this is enough, if WrestleMania 42 is going to be a good card, or is it just going to be a couple good main events? Let's just start off with Oba Femi, Brock Lesnar. 5 out of 5. I am very much hyped for this one. Now, I do not think that just coming out and beating someone up constitutes as a story. However, it's like this is the exception because it's almost like two dudes trying to determine who the alpha is of WWE. Is it the old guard in Brock Lesnar, or is it this new cub in Oba Femi? And so, like, I don't mind these two beasts just going at it. It's like Godzilla and, like, Robot Godzilla just duking it out. In fact, this might be my most hyped match of all of WrestleMania, if I'm being honest. And my second would be CM Punk and Roman Reigns.
I'm picking you because I hate you.
I was a little worried with so many back and forth promos if the material was going to get stale, but I'm enjoying it. Last week, we had the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. He finally attacked CM Punk, but CM Punk laughed it off, just like the week before when Roman laughed it off. So definitely mind games going on. But now that we got bloodthirsty Roman, the tribal chief, it's like, uh-oh, all bets are off, but not so much the intrigue of where this goes, because CM Punk has now planted seeds. Jey Uso's had so much that Jey was ordering Roman what to do. Will Roman look past that? Or will he now turn his attention to Jey and say, hey man, don't ever tell me what to do again? They have me intrigued. So Roman, CM Punk, they have the history, they have the promos. All right, 5 out of 5 on the hype-o-meter. A matchup that has 1 out of 5 on the hype meter is Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. Now, I am a Jade Cargill fan. I really am. And I'll say this, I was more hyped for this match when they were beefing on Twitter.
All you seem to do is talk, and that's literally it. And this is when Cargill appeared to step over a line. Talk? Like the hours you spend talking to creative. Rhea Ripley drew a line under this on her Instagram stories, finally posting, not having fun, not friends, learn to work and never lie to defame someone's real human character by breaking the fourth wall.
And so I very much was looking forward to them getting in the ring and kind of airing out their dirty laundry, but no, instead they started talking about their muscles. And now their whole feud is just based around the B word. You're the B word, I'm the B word, I'm gonna make you my B word. It's like, yeah. In fact, the most interesting development of their feud so far is Jade Cargill added the two lowest women on the roster, B-Fab and Meacham, to her side. And the most unfortunate part of the whole situation is this match was probably supposed to be Jade and Bianca, but Bianca is still out from last year, breaking her knuckle. I hope Bianca gets back soon, because I would love to see Bianca versus Jade for a WWE Championship. And if you want to win this WWE Championship, all you got to do is comment below and subscribe to the channel. At 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to give it away on my quest to quit my day job. So we're only under 300 to go, so subscribe, comment, you can win this belt, not a toy, but a replica. All right, let's do Trick Willie Williams and Sami Zayn.
Let's talk about it.
This storyline isn't like the greatest of all time, but I love the character work that is going into it. Sami Zayn and him kind of crashing out and slowly inching towards the dark side, and Trick Williams just completely full of himself every single time Trick gets on the microphone. He so reminds me of The Rock from way back when. I would say I am 1, 2, 3, 4 hyped for this matchup just because of their character work. I'm just really looking forward to seeing how Sami reacts after Trick Williams, a rookie, beats him, and how Trick reacts to him winning at WrestleMania. So, like, I'm really very much interested in this match right here. I'm not hyped about Becky Lynch and AJ Lee once more. This is their 4th time meeting. We had WrestlePalooza where AJ won. We had War Games where AJ submitted Becky Lynch. And then we had a one-on-one last month where AJ Lee won again. So now this is the 4th time, and not just the matchups, but even on TV, it seems like AJ Lee is always getting the better of Becky Lynch. Every once in a while, a sneak attack, Becky can beat up AJ Lee, but for the most part, AJ Lee, the babyface, has always had the upper hand on Becky. Becky's always been afraid of AJ Lee, and AJ has always won. I love Becky Lynch. She's the best in the world. That's not just me saying it either. That's Sports Illustrated and Bleacher Report, and I say it, but like when it comes to this feud, yeah, not feeling it. Grande Americano versus Grande Americano. We got OG versus Tall Grande, and this one's a little difficult because I actually love the Grande Americano story. I love the fact that this guy was blacklisted back in the 90s and actually, you know, came out of retirement and is having such a renaissance for his career. But the thing about it is, I kind of feel like they're not doing much with it. Now, in AAA, the Lucha Libre promotion that TKO owns, well, they're doing great stuff. But in WWE proper, Monday Night Raw, it seems like all they're doing is, I cost you the match this week, and next week you cost me the match. I'm not really feeling the Grande story in WWE. For this match on WrestleMania, I don't have much hype for it. I'd probably say a 2, but because I know that match is going to be such a banger, and I actually like the characters, I'm going to put my hype at a 3. But if I were watching this feud on a AAA pay-per-view, PLE, it would probably actually be at a 5. Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan. I thought it was better in the beginning of their feud, when Stephanie was calling out Liv saying, you know, you had everything handed to you. And Stephanie was like, I had to fight my way to the top. And said, and it's not so much the fact that you had the WWE machine behind you, it's the fact that you had the WWE machine behind you, and you are still a coward hiding behind the Judgment Day. But since that, it's kind of just become, I'm going to attack you this week, you're going to attack me next week. Everyone just brawls. Do more. And Liv, for her part, I really like her character. So I like how she laughs. I like how when Stephanie said, you hide behind your friends, and Liv just brushed it off, said, well, at least I have friends. The match is going to be great, and I think I'm giving it a 3 based on the beginning of the feud. It would have been a 4 if they would have continued it. But yes, 3 right now because of the beginning of the feud and Liv Morgan herself. Let's quickly talk a couple people who I think are going to be on the card that haven't been announced yet. Gunther, right here, Gunther. I did a whole video yesterday about Gunther, and for the most part, I gotta give it a 1. I'm not interested at all in this Gunther character right now. The guy who tapped out John Cena and AJ Styles and some other guy, it's like they have totally dropped the ball in my opinion. I get it. If Rey Mysterio was his picked opponent and Rey is out with injury, well, then you pivot. You come up with something else. LA Knight, yeah. I'll give LA Knight a 2. Maybe 3, because I think we're leading towards the direction of LA Knight versus Jey Uso. I kind of want to see that because I like the idea of LA Knight cutting promos on the bloodline, honestly. I want to see LA Knight be really just unleashed on the microphone. If he fights Jey Uso, it instantly becomes a 3. Maybe even 4, because I like Crash Out Jey Uso. A matchup that I could see either happening at WrestleMania or the Monday before WrestleMania is Javon Evans and Kofi Kingston. There's at least a little bit of a story there, but honestly, the real story is the passing of the torch. It's almost like Oba and Brock, but just with the high flyers. Honestly, like, that's just a natural story to tell. You don't need a lot. You just need to not mess it up. And the matchup itself will sell it. I usually want a little more, but not with them. Given the opportunity, they could 100% steal the show. Absolutely steal the entire weekend, actually. So I'm going to give it a 5. I'm going to give Kofi and Javon a 5. Seth freaking Rollins versus Paul Heyman. Actually, if that was the matchup, it'd be a 5. But honestly, it's probably going to be Seth versus Bron Breakker. I'm going to just give this one a pass. I don't know if Seth is going to be okay to wrestle. I don't know if Bron Breakker is going to be okay to wrestle. Maybe they do the thing where they can't really wrestle. So, like, you know, Bron Breakker gets in the ring and Seth Rollins just brings a bunch of masked men in and Bron Breakker just spears everybody. And then right as Braun is getting up from a spear, curb stomp 1, 2, 3. It's going to be a lot of smoke and mirrors. And I stole that idea kind of from Cultaholic. So I'm going to give it no hype. However, I could, like, if we just had a straight up match, Seth Rollins versus Bron Breakker, I'd probably give it a 3 or a 4 no matter what. It's just because of all the circumstance around the Vision and how horribly they've been booked, not to mention all the injuries they've suffered, it has definitely diminished my hype for all the characters involved in this storyline. But again, it's not their fault. All right, let's talk tag teams. Damian Priest and R-Truth versus anybody, I probably wouldn't be that hyped about, for real. Like, I don't know. I feel like they were just kind of a thrown together tag team anyways. When it comes to the tag team titles on Raw, I think the Vision will hold the title. I think they win at Madison Square Garden next Monday. So the Vision, everything that revolves around the Vision, I'm just not that interested in. And I would say, unless the Vision faces the Lucha Brothers, no interest at all. I don't care who they fight. They have a rematch against the Usos. I wouldn't care. I only want to see the Lucha Brothers together. They're the only tag team that would hype it. If I get the Lucha Brothers at WrestleMania, that is a hype of 4 no matter what, and that's just because I love the Lucha Brothers as a team. Now, the women's tag team division has been on fire for pretty much like a whole year. It really never diminished. But the thing is, I think it was at its height, its peak, when it was Rhea and Io, and people were gunning for them. And because they are no longer even part of the tag team division, I'm like, I don't know. I kind of wish they wouldn't have split them up and they would have walked into Mania with the titles. So I'm going to say, and I love Lash Legend. I like Nia Jax. They're great champions. But to just face Lyra and Bayley and Charlotte and Alexa and the Bellas in a 4 corners match, not really excited for that. I'll give it a 3 because the division as a whole has been great. But yeah, I'll give it a 3. Now, if Charlotte and Alexa break up, I'm very much invested in their relationship. And I would be like hyped to see Alexa as a heel. So I would actually give Alexa and Charlotte a 5, but I think they're just going to be in the tag team division for this. So that's a 3. They're a 3. If we did Danhausen and Jelly Roll versus Miz and Kit Wilson, like, can I go 6? I want to see that match so bad. So bad. Like, it would be hilarious. Kit Wilson, him facing off against Toxic Masculinity. Danhausen in his first WWE match. I would love if he did Tequila. And if you don't know, you'll know eventually. And The Miz getting a spotlight, Jelly Roll. I still can't believe I want to see Jelly Roll in a match. Go back to last year when I found out he was going to fight at SummerSlam. I was like, this sucks. What idiot wants to see this? Well, you know what? This idiot wants to see Jelly Roll at WrestleMania with Danhausen right now. So that would definitely be a 5. Definitely 5, 6, 7, 8. The opposite of my hype for that match would be the Wyatts versus versus the MFTs in any iteration. I don't care who it is. 1-on-1, 5-on-5, 4-on-4, 1-on-5. I don't care. I do not want to see this matchup anymore. They've been feuding over this lantern since John Cena was feuding with Logan Paul. Like, zero. That is a zero hype. That is a zero hype if that match occurs. Solo's cousin Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. I'm going to give it a 5. Honestly, anything with Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, I'm pretty much going to give a 5. Last year he fought Damian Priest, and I was like, this is lame. This is a lame feud. And honestly, it was one of the more interesting ones because of the work that Damian Priest, but Drew McIntyre put into it. Drew McIntyre puts everything into a feud. He has a lot of good karma in the bank with me that I'm just excited to see where he goes. I trust that a Drew McIntyre feud is going to be a good feud. So I'll give that a 5. If it was anybody else, I'd probably give it a 4 right now, which is still good. But Drew, automatically, I'm just going to trust that he's going to make it something special like he always has. 5. Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Julia. I think this will be a SmackDown match, but if it happens at Raw, great. I would probably give this a 3. A 3. Maybe 4, and that goes back to everything relying on Chelsea Green. I think Chelsea is just great and amazing, and she makes almost everything work. So I'll give it a 3, but it's solely based on Chelsea Green. In fact, it'd probably be, I'll give it a 4. Honestly, I'll give it a 4. If it happens at actual WrestleMania, I would be looking forward to it because I would love to see Chelsea Green's entrance. I would love to see Chelsea Green, a woman who was cut from WWE 3 times, the woman who Michael P.S. Hayes literally said she is not a main event player. And I would just be so happy for her to get on the grandest stage of them all that my hype literally to see just Chelsea walk down the aisle at Mania, I'd give that a 4. I'd give that a 4 alone. And it would be a good match. It would be a good match, but it's all about Chelsea in this one. So 4 hype to see Chelsea have the best day of her life. Finn Balor versus Dominik Mysterio. This should have already happened. I feel like this one has gone on too long. They dragged it out too much, which has my hype a little diminished. I'm still happy that we're going to get it. I'm going to give it a 3. I think this is just going to be kind of a match that happens and we forget about it. In Dominik's long WWE career ahead of him, we'll be like, oh yeah, one day he fought Finn at WrestleMania, didn't we? I think it's just going to be it's a logical match for them to have too. So I'm not saying don't put it on the card. I'm just saying, like, it's not going to really affect if I'm, like, hyped for WrestleMania one way or another. But if Finn busts out the demon and says the demon's coming back, well, then instantly a 4, and I'm like, that's a must-see match at that point. And the final match is the night 1, most likely, main event, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. And, you know what? I'll give it a 5. It's probably not the cool thing to do to give Cody Rhodes match a 5 on your hype meter, but I've never been cool. I'm going to say this is a 5. I'm very interested to see where we go. Randy Orton turned heel. Now, if it was babyface versus babyface, it would have been a 2. Honestly, it would have been a 2. But when Randy Orton turned heel, that made it jumped up to a 5. It's barely a 5 though, because I feel like Cody should have came out last week. Like, could you imagine if Stone Cold Steve Austin got beat up one week and then he just didn't show up the next? No way, no how. But that said, the fans aren't booing. The fans aren't booing Randy Orton. So there's even a slight hope that Randy turns babyface and Cody turns heel finally at WrestleMania. Or we see Randy punt kick Cody Rhodes and becomes the 15-time champion. There's a lot of there's some what ifs in their matchup, and it's intriguing. Now, if Cody comes out on SmackDown and it is just like, good, I'm glad I got evil Randy, and then they don't really and that's kind of the end of their I don't know, Randy crashing out on Cody and stuff, then my hype would go down. But right now, it is at a 5, but there's a lot of ways to ruin this story right here. I mean, I remember when John Cena turned heel and we didn't really we didn't really have a plan for that, and it quickly just went downhill. I hope we don't do that with Randy. I hope we can really lean into their past history. I need Randy to keep crashing out, or I need Cody to finally crash out. One of the two. So there you go, boys and girls. On the hype meter for WrestleMania as a whole, 1, 2, 3. I'm at 3.5 on the Chop Hype-O meter. What about you? Let me know in the comments below. See ya, bye.